Today we're exploring 5 disturbing human experiments that actually took place. These stories are not for the faint of heart. They delve into the darkest corners of scientific exploration, revealing the potential for human beings to inflict suffering in the name of progress. The year was 1932. The Great Depression gripped America, and its shadow fell especially dark on Macon County, Alabama. Here, in the heart of the Jim Crow South, poverty and disease plagued the African American community. It was against this backdrop that the U.S. Public Health Service, a beacon of hope, arrived with a promise-free medical care. For 600 black men, many of whom had never seen a doctor, the offer was a lifeline. Little did they know, they were about to become unwitting participants in a medical nightmare. You see, these men, all suffering from syphilis, were never told their diagnosis. They were told they were being treated for bad blood, a catch-all term for various ailments. The true purpose of the study? To observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis in black men. Even as penicillin, a known cure for syphilis, became widely available in the 1940s, it was deliberately withheld from the men in the study. For 40 years, this cruel charade continued. 40 years of deliberate deception, of watching men suffer and die from a treatable disease. The Tuskegee syphilis study ended in 1972 only after its horrific details were leaked to the press, sparking public outrage. This dark chapter in medical history serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of racism and medical misconduct. It led to the establishment of federal laws and regulations governing the protection of human subjects in research, ensuring that such an egregious violation of human rights would never happen again. Stanford University, 1971. The backdrop for an experiment that would forever change our understanding of human nature. Conceived by psychologist Philip Zimbardo, the Stanford prison experiment aimed to explore the psychological effects of power dynamics, specifically the impact of becoming a prisoner or prison guard. 24 male college students, deemed physically and mentally healthy, were randomly assigned to be either guards or prisoners within a simulated prison environment in the basement of the Stanford Psychology Building. The guards, outfitted with uniforms, mirrored sunglasses, and wooden batons, were instructed to maintain order. The prisoners, stripped of their identities and issued numbers, faced a simulated prison experience, complete with mock arrests and dehumanizing procedures. What was meant to be a 2-week study quickly unraveled. The guards, embracing their roles with unsettling zeal, began to exhibit authoritarian behavior, subjecting prisoners to psychological torture, harassment, and degrading tasks. The prisoners, stripped of their autonomy, descended into passivity and despair. Within days, the experiment spiraled out of control. The boundaries between simulation and reality blurred, with participants exhibiting extreme emotional responses and behaviors. The study, abruptly halted after just 6 days, revealed the terrifying ease with which ordinary individuals can succumb to the corrupting influence of power. It stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked authority and the fragility of human nature when confronted with situational forces. The Milgram Obedience Experiment, Shocking Truth of Blind Obedience. Yale University, 1961. Psychologist Stanley Milgram sought to answer a chilling question. Could it be that Adolf Eichmann and his millions of accomplices in the Holocaust were just following orders? Milgram designed an experiment to test the power of authority. Participants were assigned the role of teacher, while an actor took on the role of learner. Teachers were instructed to administer electric shocks for wrong answers, increasing the voltage each time. The learner's cries of pain intensified, turning into pleas to stop. Despite distress, many participants delivered shocks up to the highest voltage. The Milgram experiment revealed our disturbing willingness to obey authority, even against our moral compass. The Monster Study, Scarring Children in the Name of Science. In 1939, a well-intentioned speech pathologist named Dr. Wendell Johnson at the University of Iowa embarked on a study that would become one of the most ethically controversial in the history of psychology. Driven by a desire to understand the causes of stuttering, Johnson, along with his graduate student Mary Tudor, devised an experiment that would test the impact of speech therapy on orphans. 22 children, some with stutters and some without, were divided into 2 groups. One group received positive speech therapy, with praise and encouragement for their fluency. The other group, however, was subjected to a cruel twist. These children, regardless of whether they stuttered or not, were subjected to negative speech therapy. They were belittled for every speech imperfection, told they were stutterers, and warned against speaking unless they could do so perfectly. The results were devastating. The children in the negative therapy group, particularly those who had spoken normally before the experiment, became withdrawn, self-conscious, and exhibited signs of long-term psychological trauma. Some even developed speech difficulties that persisted throughout their lives. Though Johnson's study did shed some light on the psychological impact of negative reinforcement on speech development, it came at a horrific cost. The monster study, as it came to be known, serves as a stark reminder of the ethical boundaries that should never be crossed in the pursuit of knowledge. Project MK-Ultra, mind control and the CIA's dark secret, the Cold War, a time of espionage, paranoia, and a shadowy battle for global dominance. It was during this era that the CIA embarked on a top-secret program so disturbing, so ethically reprehensible, that it would remain shrouded in secrecy for decades. This was Project MK-Ultra, the CIA's foray into the dark world of mind control. Launched in the 1950s, MK-Ultra's objective was to develop techniques to manipulate individuals, turning them into unwitting assassins, extracting information through unconventional means, and potentially even controlling their minds. Over the course of 2 decades, the CIA conducted hundreds of experiments on unwitting subjects, many of whom were American citizens. Subjects were given LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs, often without their knowledge or consent, to study the effects on their mental state. Hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and sensory deprivation were also employed in an attempt to break down individuals and make them more susceptible to suggestion. The program's existence remained hidden from the public until 1975, when a Senate committee investigating CIA abuses stumbled upon documents alluding to the project. The subsequent revelations shocked the nation and sparked widespread outrage. Project MK-Ultra serves as a chilling reminder of the dangerous lengths governments may go to in the name of national security and the profound ethical implications of unchecked power. The experiments we've explored, though difficult to stomach, serve as chilling reminders of what can happen when ethics are disregarded in the pursuit of knowledge. They force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature, our capacity for cruelty, our vulnerability to manipulation, and the seductive allure of unchecked power. These stories are not merely relics of a darker past, they are echoes that resonate in the present, urging us to remain vigilant, to question, and to hold those in power accountable. If you found this video thought-provoking, like and subscribe for more insights into history's most unsettling events.